degrees! Ow! Majd Kakish!
I know we have a lot to catch up on, but there's a lot that people can relate to now within the whole, like, coronavirus, Black Lives Matter movement. People are staying at home and going out, both for great reasons. What are you doing?
Right now, I did protest one time, the peaceful protest. Just walked up from 7th Street, the park, and then all the way up to the police station, and we all sat there. I actually burned my ass. I told you guys about this. There were literal burn marks on my butt cheeks from the pavement, but that's what I had to do for my fellow brothers and sisters. And
I feel that I saw something online, a soldier of some sort. I can't remember if it was Coast Guard or another branch of military. However, he was there for 3 hours with his sign, and he ended up melting the soles of his shoes on the ground. And I thought, man, that's gotta be symbolism, right? So I thought if people can't hear the message by now, if you're seeing things like that, you almost have no chance of seeing the message. Well, what do you think about people who are still almost anti this movement?
Well, the only reason I maybe not the only reason, but one of the main supporting reasons I got involved with this was because I've been police brutalized. I don't think I've told either of you guys this story, but I had a DUI evading, and it was in the newspaper and shit, and I was going and it was stupid. Like, I shouldn't have been doing that. I was like 3 o'clock just blasting through stop signs and stuff, and this cop like ended up being on one of the streets, like 3rd Street and Avenue H in Yucaipa. And I used to do this all the time, like at 3 o'clock, no one would be on the roads. But this one night, it happened, and he started chasing me, and then I get it was like a 2-mile chase or something. Oof. And I thought, this is so stupid, like I was drunk enough to think, because Yucaipa, or San Bernardino County is Yucaipa, and Calamasa is Riverside County. So I thought if I drive across there, they'll be like, "Oh, darn it! Well, he got away from us, that darn Ryan Coates."
Yeah.
But no, they fucking chased me, and like more cop cars came, and there was a dip in the street, so I hit that, and my engine started steaming. I couldn't go anymore because I was trying to end up at the freeway. Yeah. But then by this point, there are at least like 2 or 3 cop cars behind me. And then I pull over, they, yell for me to get out of the car and put my hands behind my head, and then step backwards, like, until they tell you to stop. Like, they're saying this through a microphone. They're like, just get on your knees, and then get on the ground. And right after that, they beat the shit out of me. 5 grown men. 5 fucking huge police dudes. And, like, I'm a white person, which shouldn't even matter. Like, this entire thing, I think it's more about, like, the police that are
being assholes.
And, like, also their background checks are, like, they need to be, I don't know, just registered or whatever.
Yeah, something's going on.
But, like, I've been a victim of that. So, like, that's why I want to stand up for all of these people.
Is it an ego thing inside of some of these police? Is it a power trip sort of a deal?
Well, I believe there's a ton of great police, because after that, I had to do, I wanted to do community service instead of spending jail time. So I went and, like, washed cop cars for 7 months. When I could have literally gone to jail and probably been let out overnight.
Yeah.
But I was just freaked out by that, because there were already guys like blowing kisses at me, and this like fucking, this is a whole like other thing too. Like it was scary. Like, and I had to spend 3 days in jail for that because it was on a Friday night and the courts aren't open. But yeah, and it wasn't, I wasn't in a drunk tank.
Thanks for knowing that, buddy.
I wasn't in a drunk tank because it was a felony. Like, I evaded the police, so. Like, but anyway, I forget where I was at.
No, so you were washing cop cars for these guys, and you're talking about...
Oh, right. Yeah, a ton of the people there were doing their job for the right reason and not racist, not like they were excellent people, but it's like any other job where there's going to be a dick, you know, like there's going to be some asshole that you don't get along with.
There's this thing that seems to be brought up where it's almost like the one bad apple will spoil a bunch, you know? So is that the case? Are most cops good and just not willing to speak up in front of a bad situation? Or would you say in a bad situation like that, the bad cops outnumber the good cops?
Or they kind of have a brotherhood within themselves too. So when they see someone, you know, fighting or whatever, they want to be on the team of the blue or whatever. Like they see them as brothers, really, right? Like the police brotherhood or whatever that is. Like, so they want to be on a team. No? What? How? What
like in a team aspect, have you ever defended someone who was wrong?
Yeah, like a girlfriend, of course. Like we've probably had that. You always have to do that if you're dating a girl. Or I've been in a band, and that's a similar thing. Like as a relationship, like you have to stick up for your homies that are in this band because you're all kind of fighting for one significant, like single purpose. And
so if you discredit one member, you're discrediting the whole thing?
I don't know. You know, like, that's where it gets really dicey because I don't think anybody knows everything besides maybe Elon Musk or something. He might be controlling all of our brains in this conversation right now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know about that. Like,
I don't know.
We're all just I think we're all just improvising, trying to figure out how to be happy.
Yeah.
And how to make it so that, you know, like our lives are easy.
Yeah.
And that's what everyone wants.
Oh,
right?
I can agree.
Ultimately.
I can agree wholesomely on that. So, I don't know, could you offer a solution or a partial solution?
I just say be nice to people, you know, do what makes you happy. And also, one of the most fun things I love to do is just smile at someone when you're walking down the street. Whenever you get that, don't you just feel like, oh, life's not too bad? Like, a stranger smiles at you, you're just like, hey, you know, that's cool. Or whatever. And no matter what color.
Shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Or just compliment someone like, you're doing good, man. Keep it up. Or,
you know, sometimes
just be that way.
Sometimes all of us are wearing some sort of clothing that can be characterized as far out in a way. I kind of wear this stuff on purpose sometimes. I like people to kind of gander my direction so I can shoot them that smile and wave that hello to remind them that, you know, I do it for no reason.
Yeah.
I just do it.
And also, like, I feel like when I was in high school, people would make fun of me for that or, like, laugh at me. And then I loved thinking, like, at least they're laughing. Like, and, like, how people think, you know, like, laughing at you is a bad thing. That's not. Like, at least that person's having a good time. If you don't mind, like, if you're comfortable with yourself, it's like, okay, that guy's happy and I'm wearing what I like, so
I like that. I like that comfortable in yourself thing. When did that start for you? It seems to have started early.
I think just when I fell off a bed as a baby as a kid. I don't know. Like
a similar experience for you,
what happened to you?
I fell off a bunk.
He fell off a bed as a baby.
My sister.
Compression fracture in my vertebrae. I can't remember which ones.
Oh.
My story, I just heard that my sister was 5 years old, and my mom went to the bathroom and asked my sister to watch me. And now I'm thinking maybe my sister, like, actually did it. Like, 'cause my mom wasn't there, and my sister's the only one with the story, so, like, but they said that, like, I fell off a pretty, like, you know, big bed, like, a taller one, but not like a bunk bed. That sounds harder.
No, it was bad. I've only heard stories.
But like a baby, like, I'm sure that kind of scrambled my brain.
He was older.
I was like 12, 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was wild.
I remember, that is crazy that you bring that up because I haven't thought of this memory in a while, but you know those like playhouses you'd have like in a backyard where there's just, you walk up a ladder and then there's a slide?
Yeah.
And then monkey bars on the side? one time I was with Wyatt Houso. You
All
remember?
right.
'Cause he lives 2 houses up from me. So we were all kids together. And we went up in there, and somehow I fell backwards out the back of it, and my leg caught on the ladder, and I like hung upside down. Oh, sorry if I almost kicked you.
That's okay.
But like I kind of was like hanging upside down, and then both of us started hilariously laughing because I thought I was gonna like fall to my death, like hit my head, and I just like caught myself randomly by my foot on this thing.
Interestingly enough, have you been in that sort of a situation before where you felt like, oh my gosh, I'm almost going to be seriously injured? But
That's like very common for me actually. I get into kind of bad situations
I like that. I'm gonna ask you about that in a sec, but I need to jump back to the feeling comfortable in your own skin.
Oh right, yeah. So that was kind of a joke, just the falling out the bed thing. But ever since I was a kid, yeah, I was just kind of different, and like people kind of liked me, but thought I was weird, you know, and
Of course.
like I never really got bullied. No, I loved it because they liked me, and like, but then people, when they would bully me, I was smarter than them, so I would like bully back the bullies, and so I never really got fucked with. Besides, like, if I would mess with a guy's girlfriend or something, you know.
Yeah.
So bullying back the bully is, did you ever bully?
No. Well, actually, in elementary school, I didn't think of it, like, because the show Jackass was popular.
Okay.
This is a story that now I think back to it and I think it's fucked up, but when I was a kid, I thought it was funny. I used to go up to little kids, like 6th graders were the top of the school, and then the rest of the little kids. So I'd maybe go up to a 3rd grader or 4th grader that thought I was cool, and they'd like look up at me like, hey man, and I'd be like, high five. And this is so fucked up, like I really don't like it, but I'd be like, hey, high five, man, and they'd look up like, oh, cool, this guy likes me, like an older kid, and I'd spit in my hand and slap their face and laugh at them, like laugh direct, and that's such a bully fucked up thing, right? That is a bully thing.
Can I get you please right now to give a disclaimer that we do not condone that behavior?
We do not. No way. I feel like a dick. That's why I'm saying this. Is like when I was a kid, and it's when the show Jackass was popular. That's kind of like, and everyone was kind of doing like little table-topping people.
In any way, did you ever give back to them?
Oh, of course, yeah. I feel like I was nicer to people than I was ever mean to anybody. Like I always, like special ed kids or kids that didn't have friends, I always tried to invite to the group and like to my friends because, like, I don't know, I did feel like a loner.
Yeah,
or
you
like
mentioned
weird,
a sibling.
you know?
You mentioned a sibling, but what was your family structure at home? I'm mostly concerned
really
with siblings,
fucked
if that's
up,
what
man.
you're
Like
concerned with.
my dad's just not a good guy. And
then mother.
My mom, she's great, but she's just kind of a little confused, you know. And
and then siblings wise, who do you have?
My sister. This is kind of a good way to talk about it. Like I had my sister when we were growing up, because my parents would just constantly be screaming at each other, and that was like a crazy environment to be around, you know?
That's never fun.
So her and I would end up like going into her room and just listening to music or watching shows or something and trying to distract from
When you say we just ended up in her room, did she invite you into her room?
Yeah, like she would
almost care for you in that way?
Well, and also, I didn't speak like until I was 3. Like I wouldn't talk at all, and my sister would talk for me. Like she knew somehow, like telepathically, what I wanted, and I believe this to this day. Like she knew how to speak to
for
me.
1 sec. You're younger, Mike's older. Have you ever felt like you've been in a situation where you were able to speak for your siblings before they could speak for themselves?
No, my siblings are wild people. Very different. Unique individuals.
But even when you were young, like when you guys all did something, and maybe did this ever happen? Did you ever all get in trouble?
Oh yeah, that's
sure.
Me.
And then who's the speaker in that situation?
No one. We were in trouble. We were all getting yelled at.
You're the oldest, right?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Oldest.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, there wasn't a negotiate. It was a
You
fend
guys
for
were kind
yourself.
of like a cohort almost.
Yeah, I mean for sure. Like
You were a squad. You were a good leader. I think because you were a good leader. I don't think Mike ever bullied his siblings, and I think he always looked out for them from the beginning.
And my parents never really, they were never like that. Like they for sure fought, you know.
Yeah.
But they were never aggression was never tolerated much in my house like that. Like obviously people get mad and tempers flare, but for the most part you gotta realize that you gotta sleep with that person in the same house. You know, at the end of the day, and there's a big rule: we don't go to bed angry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the casting house is we don't go to bed angry, and we try to solve the problems. Like obviously you can't solve every problem that day. People have different opinions. That's why I couldn't speak for my siblings because, you know, they might
almost had to work it out themselves.
Yeah,
Their parents wouldn't let you talk for them.
No, yeah, you couldn't because you realize real fast that you can talk for them, but then that doesn't make them like a full person. You know what I mean?
I think if I built a family, that's how I would like it to happen. Because whenever I've had like a girlfriend, and you'll be fighting at the end of the night, like I've never wanted that to fall asleep just with this like tension. Yeah,
it's fucked up.
Good.
No,
I like that rule. Don't fall asleep angry.
Yeah,
or just don't be angry. My entire life has been very strange and kind of around like sickness and death and just scary shit. And so I've always just tried to be comfortable with myself. And I think recently, now I'm on an upswing, which makes me comfortable talking with you guys here. But for a while, like last August, I was in rehab and like fucking like, you know, like I'm always going through just that shit.
I have to say this.
Life happens.
There's only stigma around these things. Rehab, therapy. There's only a stigma around. If you need it, you must be a bad person. But no, if you go through it, you must be a great person.
Yeah, and like the last time I played a gig, this was like one of my most uplifting, like playing music was, there was one side of the rehab ward where they were like, Friday nights we get to have fun or whatever, and they heard me play guitar, like, cause this one dude was playing guitar. I was like, hey, can I play that? And then, I was like way better than this dude because this girl was watching him, and then this girl's like attention went from that guy. She was like, "Oh, a real musician's here," and so she asked like the nurses and shit if I could go to their side. These are people who were there for like a month, and I was only detoxing, but she had me go to their side of the ward to play, and I just like jammed for a long time, played some of my songs, covers and stuff, and they were giving me cigarettes and dollars and candy.
Love that.
Yeah, they were just like, dude, you're the shit. And then like one guy was like, man, if you become famous, like I'm gonna say I went to rehab with that guy. And this dude, his name's Jesse. He was a poppin' locker from the 80s, and I had him poppin' locked to me playing guitar.